but cornerback.
Now, it's funny that Bob again wrote a piece about Casey Hayward and his tape study, and it's funny that I got so much response from this.
The wild card.
This
is the wild card right
People
here.
asking me, well, what did you think of Bob's piece? And I didn't do it, but I really wanted to respond to everybody with, did you not read my piece earlier this year when I wrote about what Casey Hayward has to work on? Casey Hayward himself responded to it and said, yeah, I know. I got to work on these things. It's like, there's no great mystery. And from what I can tell, Hayward is adjusting to life on the outside. And I think the Packers expected that. I don't know how long they'll wait on it.
Yeah, but what are the options?
Well, I'll tell you what. Right now, I would not be unhappy, shocked, surprised, saddened in any way, shape, or form if Ladarius Gunter started opposite Sam Shields on opening day.
Slow down.
I know.
Slow down.
But right now, I'm here to tell you.
Oh, my goodness. I knew this was going to happen. When we were at training camp. Everybody's talking about Ladarius Gunter. And here we go. We always got one player every year, and he's going to be the second coming. Last year was Jeff freaking Janis,
I'm not saying
who never even saw the field until week 11.
Yeah.
I'm
not saying he's going to be the second coming. I'm saying it wouldn't surprise me.
If he starts at cornerback,
I wouldn't be upset. Nope.
Come on.
Go look at the Pittsburgh game.
Come on.
Go look at the Pittsburgh game, and this is what Bob is talking about when it comes to Casey Hayward. Casey Hayward against Antonio Brown, one of the best receivers in the NFL.
Why did we take a guy in the first round if we're not going to start him?
Just hold on. And he may start too. Any one of those guys could.
But why would you take Gunter over Randall?
Because right now I like what I've seen out of him the most.
But it doesn't make any sense. There's no way you're going to start.
It's not hierarchy. Right now it doesn't matter where you were drafted, baby. It matters what you do between the lines on Sunday. And right now Gunter is up there pressing fools. He's playing man to man, and sometimes the guy gets by him, but he's right there when the ball gets caught, and he tackles the guy for no more gain. Every one of these guys, Rollins, Randall, definitely Hayward. They've had issues. Gunter is the one guy who has yet to get
$100 that Hayward and Randall are more likely to start than Gunter.
Okay, how are you going to prove that? You're going to call
Randall and Hayward will start. If Gunter starts, then I owe you $100.
But I'm not saying he's going to start. I said it's not going to be surprised if it happens. That's what I'm saying.
I will be surprised if Ladarius Gunter starts.
Sam Shields played his rookie year and he was undrafted.
He didn't start in the first game of the season.
No, but he played a lot.
Yeah, but you just said start.
I said I wouldn't be surprised. You know why?
I would be surprised.
He's been the best.
I would be surprised.
Out there on an island. You go look at the tape in Pittsburgh, Casey Hayward is giving Antonio Brown like 100 yards of cushion.
If Casey Hayward is not starting for the Green Bay Packers on week one.
Playing press man at the line of scrimmage and playing well against one of the best receivers in the game. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
If Casey Hayward is not starting for the Green Bay Packers, now barring injury, right? Not because of injury, but if he is not starting for the Green Bay Packers, it's not looking good for the Green Bay Packers.
How do you know?
Because we've banked so much on this kid, and we got rid of Tremont.
So see, now we're getting to the root of it. Now we're getting to the root of it.
If you're going to get rid of Tremont, where is the starting cornerback? You cannot win in this league without a starting cornerback.
What if Randall, Rollins, Gunter, one of them is better than Tremont?
That's a big what if.
Well, of course, but so is everything in free agency, letting guys go and
that's a really
developing
big
your team. That's part of the game.
What have we been developing Casey Hayward for 4 years?
Yep. This is his 4th year.
Yeah. 4 years.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me,
and he hasn't
and
proven
now
to be a man
you're
corner.
telling me it's not going to surprise you if a kid who basically worked his way up from the practice squad starts.
No, he's never been on the practice squad. He's never been on the practice squad. He's just undrafted.
Undrafted, right?
Yep. People were scared of his 40 time. But his 40 time doesn't matter in short area speed.
I know there's not a hierarchy, but there kind of is.
There shouldn't be.
You know
who believed
No, there
that?
shouldn't be.
You know who believed that? You know who coached like that? You know who GM'd like that?
But there is.
Yeah. You know who GM'd like that? Mike Sherman. Mike Sherman, who called Matt Bowen into his office to tell him that he was going to lose his job because he was paying the other guy more money. and he had a higher draft status. That's an actual conversation that Mike Sherman had with Matt Bowen.
Yeah, but Mike Sherman, unfortunately, was the GM as well as the coach, which we
terrible
know how
GM.
terrible that was.
Yeah.
So,
But that's my point.
Unfortunately,
that's that thinking.
unfortunately-
I paid this guy more. He's a higher draft pick. Therefore, he must play.
no, but
Whoever puts the best
I agree with
best
you.
thing on
I
tape
agree
is
with
to
you, but
play.
that's not necessarily how it's done.
No, not necessarily.
Ted does give pressure, right?
Sometimes. Which is why I say.
But it's also like
I wouldn't
if you
be
invest in a
surprised.
guy for 4 years
So what?
and then you
If
started
you've got something
undrafted,
better, who cares?
but what is that going to do with his confidence?
I don't give a shit about his confidence. He's in the NFL. He's got to produce. He's got to play. He's got to do what he's told to do when told to do
I
it.
don't think that's going to happen.
Oh my God, what is this, Oprah? Good Lord, what is confidence? Get out there and play. Coach called your number. You got to go play. That's just, this isn't touchy-feely time. It's the NFL.
Yeah, right.
Good Lord.
You are so full of crap.
I am not. Get out there and produce.
You think a coach doesn't? You don't think Bill Belichick worries about Tom Brady's confidence? Come on.
Yeah, pretty boy quarterbacks. That's a whole
Come
nother story.
on, dude.
That's a whole nother story.
You know how much money you invest in these players? You think
Yeah,
about all
yeah,
that stuff. You think about their diet. You think about how
Yeah,
much
of
they
course you
cried
do.
today. You think about
Well,
when they did yoga.
right,
you think
right,
about all of it, right? You pay people millions of dollars to think about all of it.
Some more than others.
But all of them think about all of it.
Some more than others.
Maybe Mike McCarthy doesn't think about it as much as Bill Belichick.
I guarantee Tom
but Bill
Coughlin.
Belichick
I guarantee Tom Coughlin's not thinking
and
about
Tom Coughlin has not won as many Super Bowls as Bill Belichick. And I guarantee you
it.
Bill
He's won
Belichick
more than Mike
thinks about
McCarthy,
it.
though.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be surprised.
They think about it a lot. When you spend that kind of money on players, you're thinking about all that stuff.
Yeah, and then
you're
when they
thinking
get-
about how
and then
many
when
times
get
they have
beat,
sex during
and
the
when
week.
you get
You're
beat,
thinking about how many kids
when
they
you
have. You're
get
thinking about
beat,
all of it.
And when you get beat, you get benched. That's it. And Casey Hayward's getting beat outside a lot. And then here's the thing: he bumps inside and he's fine. Like when they go to zone and he's in nickel and playing inside the slot, he's fine. He's great. He's one of the best things on the team. When you bump
Yeah,
him
but that's
outside,
not
it does not
that's
look
not
good.
what we need right now.
I am aware.
We do not
I think
need a
the
nickel
Packers-
corner.
I think the Packers are aware too.
We need an outside cornerback. We need a
I
shutdown
agree.
corner. Where is that person?
Well, could be any one of them. Could be Randall. Could be Rollins. Hell, I'll tell you what. Somebody we haven't even talked about yet. Dimitri Goodson, coming back from injury, he played shockingly well against the Eagles. I'm using the word shockingly because I thought this kid was on the precipice of getting cut like maybe 2 weeks ago. And then he got injured, and I thought, oh, God, he's done. And he came back, and he had a whale of a game against the There was one play where they ran that little smoke screen out to the wide receiver, and you think, oh, God, here we go. Because whenever they do that, inevitably the Packers DBs get blocked, and it goes for 100 yards or whatever. Goodson came back, and Goodson was playing way off, and he smelled it out. He comes tearing in and just blew up the ball carrier. And that's the receiver, and that's what you want.
Yeah, he was good on special teams last year.
Yes, late in the year.
He was.
Absolutely.
He was a standout.
So it's like even he's in the mix. I don't think he's going to start, but they have pieces. It's just figuring out where they fit.
They have pieces.
Yeah, it's just figuring out where they fit.
But pieces.
You always knew this was going to happen when they selected two defensive backs in the first freaking 3 picks. You knew this was going to happen. This is what it's all about. You got to play.
I don't like it.
Opening the first game
I don't
against
like
the Patriots, Rollins played well, and everyone's like, "Oh, Rollins." And then Rollins had a bad game in Pittsburgh. No, not a bad game, but it's not as good.
Yeah,
a
but
game.
still, everybody's about
And
Gunter.
Randall had his first pick, and then everyone's like, "Oh, Randall."
Everybody's
It's like-
been about Gunter since training camp started.
Everyone's been about the fact that here's an undrafted kid who's playing very well. There's nothing wrong with that. That's
No.
a good thing. We should be celebrating that, not looking down our noses at it.
The problem is, if we're here's the problem.
Not pining for former corners who now play for the Browns.
Here's the problem. Here's where the formula comes in.
Yeah.
I know you don't remember these from school, but okay. The formula is
I was told there'd be no
if
math.
Ladarius Gunter is having a good season, that means that our best laid plans for cornerback, GM Ted Thompson, are a disaster unfolding before us.
How do you know? How do you know Ted didn't know Ladarius Gunter was going undrafted because of his terrible 40 time and said, we're going to get this kid.
That means
and he's going to
that
compete,
means
and he's
Randall
gonna be
was
really
a
good for
fail
us.
as a draft pick.
No, it
that
wasn't.
means Casey
It just means
Haywood
he
was
knows
a
where
fail
he
as
was
an
valued
investment.
around the NFL.
Nope. You know I'm right. So it's not.
No, I
looking-
don't. In fact, I know you're wrong. That's the best part.
If Gunter is successful, that means that Randall is a fail as a draft pick.
That solved the argument. You know I'm right. Yeah. Oh, of course. Sorry. Well, thank you.
Yeah, you do.
You know I'm right. Oh, shoot. You're right.
If Randall is a fail as a draft pick and Casey Hayward is a fail as an investment.
Anyone being a failure.
Just saying.
You have to play the dudes who are playing well. It doesn't matter where they're drafted. And nobody failed anything.
So far.
Yes, you're right. The ultimate test will come.
Yeah,
but
when we're
right
actually
now.
playing games that matter.
Yes, when you watch. See, maybe if you watch some preseason, you'd know about this stuff.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we got all this. Hey, speaking of the defensive backs, and speaking of
Still
a
right
defensive back, you're not right.
I am.
You're totally
I am.
wrong. You're totally
not,
wrong.
You're not actually.
You're
not
totally
actually
wrong.
listening to what
I'm listening
saying,
to every word you're saying,
but it's
and you're totally
completely
wrong.
right.
So
I don't
that's good.
So that's okay.